Hey everyone, welcome back to Camp in a Box. Today we're going to try our hand at making our very own watercolor paints. In your kit, you'll receive all of the raw materials that you need for this activity, but you're going to need things like a measuring spoon, mixing utensils, and a liquid measuring cup from home. I'll be honest with you guys, I royally messed this up on my first try, so you're watching my second attempt. Let's see if I do any better. Start off by pouring your whole bag of baking soda into your liquid measuring cup. Now get ready for some science. Once you have all of your baking soda in the cup, go ahead and grab your little cups of vinegar and add them in slow pours to your baking soda. This will cause the baking soda to fizz up. So once it starts to fizz, stop pouring and stir with a plastic fork or another mixing utensil until the reaction stops. Once you've added your vinegar, go ahead and add your whole cup of corn syrup. This is really sticky, so make sure that you use your mixing utensil to scrape out the container and get all of that corn syrup into your mixture. At this point, your mixture should still be pretty runny, so we need to add a thickening agent. In this case, we're going to use cornstarch. If you look in the top right-hand corner of the screen, you can see that my cornstarch bag is labeled 6 tablespoons. That's where I messed up. For this recipe, you only need to use 6 teaspoons of cornstarch, not tablespoons. I mislabeled the bag when I was portioning out all of my ingredients. So the first time I tried this, my entire mixture solidified into a solid block in about 3 minutes. Kind of hard to add food coloring to a solid block. You guys will get the right amount of cornstarch in your kits, but you still want to add it just a little bit at a time to check the consistency of your mixture. It will slowly go from being pretty runny all the way up to being about as thick as pancake batter. Like a lot of different STEM activities, your mixture is going to react differently under certain circumstances. For example, my makeshift studio here at the office is out in the garage, and I was making this on a very hot and sticky day. So my mixture actually solidified a lot more quickly than when I did my very first try at DIY watercolors earlier in the spring, when the garage was a lot cooler and a lot less humid. So if you're able to, do this craft inside an air-conditioned area. Or if you're going to work outside or in a garage like I am, make sure that you work quickly so your mixture doesn't completely solidify before you add your food coloring. You won't get food coloring in your kit, but it's easy to pick these up at Kroger or at Walmart. Just make sure whatever food coloring you get, you have your primary colors, that's red, yellow, and blue, so you can mix up your secondary colors by yourself, which are green, orange, and purple. Or you could spend a little bit more money and get a full set of food coloring. Once your mixture has reached a pancake batter-like consistency, stop pouring and immediately grab the egg cartons that come in your kit. If you continue to stir like I'm doing, you introduce more air into the mixture, which actually helps it harden quickly. This is another area where this video could actually be improved. Instead of pouring all of your mixture into the egg carton cubbies at the very beginning, start by only pouring one and then mix in your colors and repeat the process. I found out a trick later on down the road on how to reactivate your mixture, but it requires more liquid and it ended up soaking the egg cartons, but you'll see that in a little bit. Also, remember to leave plenty of room in your little egg carton cubbies for you to mix in the food coloring. Now it's time to start adding color to our watercolors. I use these little wooden craft sticks, but if you have a spoon or a plastic fork, anything will work just fine to add in your colors. Just want to make sure that you mix gently so you don't accidentally poke a hole in the side of your egg carton. The yellow cubby ended up working out just fine, but I started to run into troubles with the next ones. When I started to add the red food coloring, I noticed that the little cubby had already started to solidify. So I had a small reservoir of mixture that I could easily mix the food coloring into, but then I had to gently scrape away solid mixture from the sides of the cubbies and work them into the rest of the mixture in order to turn them back into liquid and add the food coloring. This is why we need to work quickly. If you're working in an air-conditioned space, you might have a little bit more time to mix in your food coloring, but you'll also have a trick later in the video on how to reactivate our mixture once it's solidified. I was able to mix in the blue food coloring okay, but the green food coloring is where I really ran into issues. Not only did I have to mix the right amounts of yellow and blue to make my own green color, but the cubby that I was using for green was almost completely solid. You can see as I'm starting to mix that I had to start scraping away at the sides really early when it came to this color. I ended up actually tearing a hole in my egg carton, and I had to go run and grab another egg carton before all of my mixture spilled out of the cubby. I didn't poke the hole with these wooden craft sticks though. Oh no, one of them decided to break while I was mixing in the color, so I grabbed a fork and used the bottom of it instead. That's when I put the hole into the side of the cubby. If you don't have an extra egg carton handy, it's a good idea to do this craft on either a lined surface or even in a baking sheet that's lined with something like paper towel or newspaper to contain any spills. At this point, my last two cubbies were well and truly solid, as well as pretty much my green. So I got a little bit of vinegar in one of my cups and put just a tiny bit into the cubby that I was mixing. You can see that the mixture starts to fizz back up and turns back into liquid really quickly. So you can add in the rest of your color. This does add a little bit of time to how long you need to let your watercolors dry, but I let mine dry overnight and they were ready to use by the next day, even with a little bit of extra liquid in the mixture. Repeat the same process with your two remaining cubbies, where you're going to mix in both your orange color and your purple color. Make sure that you mix the plain mixture really well before you start adding in the color. You want to make sure that all of the solid material is off of the sides of the cup. Once you have all of your colors mixed in, set your watercolor palette on a lined surface so it can dry overnight. There will be a little bit of color leakage from the bottom of the egg cartons, but as long as it's on a lined surface, you'll be good to go. Once your watercolors are completely solid, you can use them just like any other watercolor palette that you can get at the store. Thanks for crafting with me today, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.